In this video for Dragon's Dogma 2, I'll be going over Spellbound and the Sorcerer's Appraisal, so you can get the strongest spells in the game, such as Celestial Pain, Maelstrom, and Meteoron. And I'll show you all 5 book locations because you need to give those to the NPCs in order to complete the quest. So let's get started. Spellbound and the Sorcerer's Appraisal quests are basically linked because you need the books for both quests. So for this guide, we'll talk to Trysha first to start it, then Myrddin later on once we have the books. We only need to collect 3 to complete the quest: Let There Be Light, Fulminous Shield, and Nation's Death Knell. But I will put all 5 in the guide just in case you want to grab them all. To start Spellbound, you want to make your way to Melv, and then just go north along the road until you get to this location called Eini's home, and there you will find Trysha.
Gran, I want to learn magic, please.
This again, child. You know full well your father has forbidden it. There are plenty of things more deserving of your interest. Why not turn your aspirations elsewhere?
Why must you always take father's side? I'd have thought you'd understand how I feel better than anyone. Why won't they let me study magic?
So wait for Gran to walk outside, or you could literally pick her up and throw her outside. That'll trigger the next cutscene for Trysha.
What is it? If you're looking for Gran, she's out. All I want is to study magic, but Gran refuses to teach me. If only I had a grimoire or 2, then I could study on my own. If you find any grimoires, would you bring them to me? You needn't seek them out. Any you happen to find will do. Still, I'll write up a list of the tomes I'd most like, so you know which ones to keep an eye out for. Let's see. There. All done. Mayhap I was a little overeager, but you needn't bring them all. Just 2 or 3 would be swell. Oh, and Gran is like to confiscate the grimoires should she espy them. Pray hand them to me when she's not at home.
So, we are to scour for the grimoires on Miss Trysha's list.
So Trysha is going to tell us to get 5 books, but we don't need all 5. All we need is Let There Be Light, Fulminous Shield, and Nation's Death Knell. This is a little bit extra, but you could actually start this quest in the very beginning of the game. But in the process, I did bring over a few enemies, so... So now that we've started the quest, we're gonna get the first book. So it is in Melv. You can see this guy, his name is Dudley, and he sells the Fulminous Shield. You could also find him in Vernworth and in the Checkpoint Rest Town as well. So keep that in mind. If he's not in Melv, you're gonna have to travel to each location until you find him.
Fulminous Shield, eh? 'Tis a bargain, I reckon. I picked it up in Melv after the dragon attacked. Can't speak for its contents, but it certainly looks valuable.
So the next books we're gonna get are Howling, Blizzard, and Nation's Death Knell. They're in the same location in a chest. So from Melv, you want to follow the road east until you get to the Waterfall Cave. Once you get into this room, the chest is gonna be in the middle, and as soon as you open it, you're gonna get greeted with a strong enemy. And if you're fighting this guy early game, it is going to be very hard, so you could just run if you wanted to. But if you kill this enemy, you are going to get the Eminent Coat, which is a caster armor, which is pretty nice. So to get the book Towering Earth, it is a long process. You need to start it by talking to Brant. So Waldar is only going to leave jail if you find him a place where he can continue his studies. So now you have to go east of Vernworth to the slum area, and you'll find the Gracious Hand. There's an NPC called Kendrick, talk to him, and that is how you're going to start that quest line. Eventually, he's going to lead you to an underground tunnel, and that secret library is where you could bring Waldar. So now that you have a place for him to go, you could break him out of jail, and he will meet you there.
To think such a place existed. My thanks.
So now that Waldar is settled in the library, you're going to have to find his spectacles. I'm going to show you the exact location of where to go.
Here it is. Towering Earth, the Forsaken Text. You may take it. I can cast no magics myself, after all. Left in my care, 'tis as a pearl before swine. Greetings.
So now from Vernworth, you want to take the West Oxcart Station, and it's going to take you all the way to Checkpoint Rest Town. And then from there, we're going to go to Myrddin's home. Hopefully you get lucky and you don't get attacked, but don't count on it. Once you get to Myrddin's home, don't go to the front door just yet. Instead, we're gonna hop up this wall and go up on the balcony to the second floor. And then you will see the book Let There Be Light on the desk.
I don't believe I had any visitors today. My interest is piqued. Very well. You may enter.
If you try to make your way in his house uninvited, he's gonna attack you with Maelstrom, so...
Now then, what business have you with me? Could it be you have come to learn of my magic, Many are those who have knocked at my door only to walk away broken and defeated. Perhaps you would allow me to test your resolve? Bring me the grimoires I yet lack. I will not demand that you gather them all. A few shall suffice to prove your determination.
So now we need to forge the book. So go to Ibrahim's scrap store, that's in Checkpoint Rest Town, and make forgeries of 3 books. So if you take a look at this, I made it very simple for you. The real books that we're gonna give to Trysha is Let There Be Light, Fulminous Shield, Nation's Death Knell. And the ones we're gonna give to Myrddin, which will be the fake ones, is Let There Be Light, Fulminous Shield, Nation's Death Knock. Each book forgery is gonna cost 6k gold, which will be a total of 18k. And if you were to do all 5, it would be 30k, so you are going to save a bit of money doing it this way. We're going to give the fake books to Myrddin first, because if you learn Meteoron from Trysha, it's going to open up different dialogue, so give Myrddin the books first, trust me.
Welcome. If you think me a liar, then the item you request is complete.
Have you found any grimoires? This will suffice. You have proven your determination. Unless you intend to seek out the rest of the grimoires?
Keep in mind, my vocation was level 5 for Sorcerer, so you don't have to be max rank to get Maelstrom, and the same thing goes for Meteoron and Celestial Pain.
I merely wish to observe your skills a little longer. Well, well. Take caution in the practice of magic. I hope you're made of sterner stuff than that. You bear the talent for the acquisition of magics. One I would nurture by teaching you the culmination of my art. I do not do so lightly, for this technique is volatile in the extreme. But I trust that you will be able to control it.
He gave us Myrddin's Chronicle. I think that's how you say his name, otherwise I've been saying his name wrong the whole guide, which is whatever at this point, I really don't care. But there you go, Sorcerer Maester's Teaching, Maelstrom. And let's do a quick little demonstration just for you guys. Oh my god. But obviously don't do that, I just did that for fun. Make your way back to Trysha and we're gonna give her the real books. Nation's Death Knell, Fulminous Shield, and Let There Be Light.
Thank you for all the grimoires, sir. Is that then you have my gratitude for all you've done? Would that I had a reward for you. Oh, mayhap this will suffice. 'Tis a ring my father gave me. 'Tis only fitting, really, given he was the one who forbade my studies in the first place. Go on. 'Tis no cheap trinket. Now, I'd best take my leave of you.
after you're done resting and you go towards the house, you're going to get a cutscene where Trysha is basically going beast mode with the Meteoron, and you essentially have to stop her. So you have two options. You could kill her and revive her. That is the fastest way. Or you could just wait until she exhausts all her stamina and take her down. But I guess if you're impatient, you could just kill her.
Trysha! We managed to avoid the worst by some miracle. I am grateful for your aid.
Hoy! 'Twould seem I've you to thank for saving me as well as Gran. Who could have suspected things would happen as they did? 'Twas as though my very self was about to vanish. Gran said 'twas because the magic within me is many times greater than 'tis within other people. She's going to teach me how to control my magic so it won't happen again. I can hardly wait. Oh, that reminds me. Keep this a secret from Gran. But when my magic was all out of control, I learnt a sort of technique. I'll need to study hard if I'm to try it without exploding again. This might surprise you, but I've already mastered a variety of magics. And since you've been so kind to me, I'd like to teach you a special one. Are you keen?
Once you receive the Conjurer's Jottings, that is Meteoron. And then immediately right after, you talk to Gran, and she's going to give you Enchanter's Almanac, which is Celestial Pain.
To teach you one of my techniques. I've every faith you'll use it wisely. Take this, with my blessing.
And then let's see, does Grandpa give us a gift as well?
How goes it?
One thing I wanted to mention is that if you can't find Granny, she might be dead. That's probably because the ogre killed her, which if you take the road up to the statue, you will see the ogre and you might possibly see her body. It happened to me, so I figured I'd leave this in the guide just in case it happened to one of you. And that is it for the guide. It took me a long time to make. I had to figure out how to delete my save file so I could make a brand new one, redo all of the questing, and then put my old save file back in so I didn't lose it. Like and subscribe, and I will catch you in the next video. Peace.
A riddle most inscrutable. Meteoron? What manner of magic is that? It differs from all magics known to me. I cannot even begin to unravel the process behind its formulation. Tell me, who taught you this magic? Trysha taught you? That cannot be. Unless she's awoken to her powers? Why is this the first I'm hearing of this? Eini ought to have informed me at once. Wait. You had a hand in this, didn't you? Eini would ne'er have allowed this to come to pass unless some meddler had forced her hand. Hold! Why is that ring in your possession? It ought to be on my daughter's hand, not yours. I gave it to her as a gift. She gave it to you, you say? Could it be she resents me? Never mind. I would be alone with my thoughts. Leave me. Eini has told me of aught that transpired. 'Twould seem you were instigator and savior, both in this affair. In truth, I know not what to think of you. Looking upon your countenance fills me with rage, and yet I cannot deny my gratitude to you. I dreaded the thought of my daughter sharing her mother's fate. Yet I see now that my attempt to protect her was merely suffocating her. In hindsight, mayhap you did what was best for my daughter and her happiness. But as her father, 'twas not a choice I could have made. If you would still learn of my magic, I must ask you to grant me time to consider whether or not I am fain to do so. You bear the talent for the acquisition of magics, one I would nurture by teaching you the culmination of my art. I do not do so lightly, for this technique is volatile in the extreme, but I trust that you will be able to control it.